All right, and we're live. Hey everyone, this is Kevin, the Apptrepreneur, and welcome to a random Sunday live stream. I'm not entirely sure how long it's going to be. It might be 15 minutes. It might be 15 hours. No, it's not going to be 15 hours, but it might be about an hour. So I try to limit it to an hour. Once in a while we'll go over, but most of the time these live streams are at max an hour. So anyway, this is a random Sunday live stream. It's actually been a few weeks since I have done a Sunday live stream because ever since I have changed the format of the channel to where instead of just doing individual videos, I now do a live stream Monday through Friday of the Apptrepreneur show. I don't find Sundays to be as great of a need to do a live stream because if you want to interact with me live, you can do so now on a daily basis. However, wife's not home. The wife is not home, and thus, I'm a little bored. It's amazing how bored we can be when our wives are not in the house anymore. So I said, what the heck? Let's give you like a little update on a topic that was brought up several days ago. Apparently, we've got a new chat setup, and oh look, I just noticed like you're already being warned about what's going on. So I see we've got 10 people in here. Oh, everyone's already giving me a thumbs down, I guess, because, I actually got tested. Oh, well, whatever. Let people, hate all they want. But hey, if you happen to like my content and everything, give it a thumbs up and, fight back. And if you know, think this is going to be a political video, well, give a thumbs down. I don't care. I really don't. So, anyway, we're going to give people like a minute or so to get in and then, see if there's anyone who wants to interact, but I'll give you a little bit of an update. So, you know, but I've been enjoying the new format. I have to admit, I like doing near daily live streams and then doing a little editing later on. The reason we're doing this one a little bit earlier, even though we haven't done a Sunday in a while, is because me and my wife are going to go see My Spy at the drive-in theater tonight. We actually tried to see it yesterday, but apparently it was sold out because drive-in theaters can be sold out of tickets. It's like really the things you learn. Like I guess it makes sense. There's only so much space in a drive-in theater, so and if one guy comes by himself and takes a whole parking spot, then I guess that would make sense. Hey Marco, how are you doing? Glad to see you are here. So anyway, let's get to the main topic now. I suspect this will be a very quiet live stream because we've been going for 3 minutes, and even though there are 15 people, oh, and hey Ben, how are you doing? Have not had a lot of interaction, so this might be a short one. But I want to give like a quick little update, and this is probably going to be, hey Mark, this will be no surprise to many people. But I got tested recently for COVID-19. On Wednesday, no, it was Tuesday actually. I was starting to, no, I'm sorry, I'm way off. This started like Saturday. I started feeling some tightness in my chest, which I thought was heartburn, but it was weird because I hadn't been eating spicy foods or Italian or anything like that, and it kept persisting. I had some other health problems, including like a rising fever, and I didn't have a cough, but there were enough symptoms there where it was like, I want to be responsible. I've taken this shutdown very, very seriously. Some people don't agree with me because I guess staying safe is now a political issue. And here's the thing. I do understand that, you can't, protect yourself from everything in the world. I mean, if you drive a car more often, you're more likely to get into a car accident as your way of dying. And you know what? That's not a good enough reason to just never drive anywhere. Also, stranger danger. Another thing that I think is blown way out of proportion because yes, there are child abductions, but the amount of children who are abducted every year is pretty minuscule compared to how many children there are. I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to absolutely terrify the kids. Teach them some common sense, like don't get into cars with strangers and things like that. But otherwise, if you're going to be one of these parents who just freak out that their kids are going to get abducted at every corner, then that's not going to lead to a very productive life. But I have taken the COVID-19 situation very seriously for a few reasons. One, it's real. I know some of my viewers don't think it is, but it's real. Second, it's highly contagious. And yes, I think everyone realizes the seriousness of it, at least all the smart people, because, for all the people who say there's a conspiracy and that the government is just trying to shut you down, I've never seen a situation where the whole world literally stops, because clearly the whole world is in communication with each other to shut the world out. Like, I don't know what some people are thinking sometimes. But anyway, uh, I've been taking this very seriously because even though if I caught it, I would probably survive, my wife, she might not survive if she catches it. For that matter, my parents might not survive if they caught it. Her parents might not survive if they caught it. I have nieces and nephews. I frankly would rather them not catch it because I don't want there to be any lifelong ramifications of them catching it. We're coming up with some pretty scary test results with what happens to kids who catch this thing. So when I got a few symptoms, even though a lot of people are saying, hey, you know what? It's not COVID-19. You're missing a couple of the key factors. I knew that. I knew it probably wasn't COVID-19, but I wanted to be responsible and get tested, and I self-quarantined. My wife has absolutely hated me for the last few days because of that. And once the test came back negative, and I came out and said, "Honey, I'm negative," she just ran up and gave me a big hug and said, "Thanks." And then she started going like, because my wife's a real touchy feely person. She's one of those people that when she goes like, she's just like that. So, the fact that she couldn't have me, her husband, for a few days was driving her nuts. So she is very happy. But I wanted to be safe. I wanted to be careful, and I think everyone should want to be careful. It's interesting that I got tested negative today because over the weekend, of course, we had, for lack of a better word, a bunch of Karens who made the internet. And it showed, middle-aged women basically not being respectful at Trader Joe's. You heard a story of a taco stand in LA that's basically decided to shut down temporarily because the employees are being called racial slurs and everything because they don't want to wear a mask. So, and then of course today, Governor Newsom in California reclosed the bars because guess what? It's spiking. It's spiking. The whole point of the shutdown was to slow it and slow it dramatically, and we did. And we probably could have kept the momentum going where it's like, hey, there would have been new cases, but it still would have been going down a little bit. But, well, then some states had to reopen too quickly. A lot of people don't want to wear their mask. And then, of course, the elephant in the room, which I don't think anyone wants to talk about, but I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it, pretty bluntly. The protests screwed a lot of people. I mean, look, I understand the protests were to a certain extent necessary. Police brutality is a problem. We need to reform the police, not defund the police. Reform the police. I don't believe in the whole defunding thing. But when I was watching those protests, and look, I know some people were wearing masks in those protests. It doesn't really matter. I mean, the masks, even though I'm a big advocate of the masks, guess what? They only work so much. They only work. Like, wearing a mask in and of itself will not keep you from getting COVID-19, nor will it completely prevent you from giving it onto other people. So that's why people go like, okay, so why wear it in the first place? Well, here's the thing. If everyone wears the mask, then that reduces the chance to spread by 40% across everyone. Okay, that's a good step. Then if you social distance, guess what? That reduces the spread even more. Like, I was actually having a conversation with a friend who, he's fairly anti-mask, and he states over and over and over again on his Instagram, on his YouTube, on his Twitter, masks don't work, and I always respond, yes, they do if you wear them properly. So, it was interesting. Like, I got tested negative, and then all this stuff went down. Like, now I'm kind of looking at like, so, you see, me and my wife, we have tickets for Mad Max Fury Road at a Century, because Century is like the first theater to reopen, and we're in a spot, we're near the front, like where few people want to sit anyway, and there's like a lot of space between the next row, and we're willing to risk it at a 30% capacity, especially if everyone's wearing mask. Well, I don't know if anyone's going to wear a mask, but if we feel unsafe, we'll leave. But I really want the movie theaters to come back because I think we could watch movies in a safe way, but nobody really wants to do that. So anyway, so I see Romeo talking. Well, there's a little conversation going on right here, and Mark says wearing a mask and social distancing are a matter of respect. And I agree with that because here's the thing: even if you don't believe this, and hey, you are free to not believe it. I mean, I believe that Jesus Christ lived and died for my sins. You are free not to believe that if you want. That's one of the great things about America. So like we can have differences of opinion, and you should not be necessarily criticized for your beliefs. The reason the mask is a sticking point to me, aside from the fact that I personally believe they fall into line with like the anti-vaxxers who swear that the government wants to give kids vaccinations to control them or some crazy thing like that. But it's a matter of respect. It's like, okay, you don't like to wear your mask. You don't think it does anything. You know what? If you go up to someone and they're wearing a mask and they want you to step back and they ask you to step back, you should not be fighting them. You should just do it. You are invading their personal space. And here's the other thing. There are people who believe they shouldn't have to wear shirts. They shouldn't have to wear shirts, or they shouldn't have to wear shoes. That's why we have people, or not we, but companies have signs that say no shoes, no shirt, no service. And we as Americans, as a sign of respect, need to respect that policy. But people don't want to respect the mask policy. And I've heard some of the craziest excuses. One, not the least of which one was someone has actually said, like, people actually say, like, oh, well, yeah, actually, Alex, I agree with that. I agree with that, Alex. Well, wait a minute. To a certain extent, no, I don't. Now I think about it, actually, no, I don't agree with that. No. Now I think about it, Alex, no. No, I'm sorry, Alex, you're a jerk. No, you're not. No, you know what? If someone says wear a mask or don't get near me because you're invading my personal space, get out. Back up. Respect people. And that's a problem with people who don't want to wear a mask. I had misread your comment originally. That's why I did a huge turnaround. Like, you know what? You don't believe in a mask? Fine. I'm not going to tell you what to believe or not to believe. But here's the thing. The stores are saying wear the mask. People are saying stand away from me. It makes me feel comfortable. Respect people. Respect people. Now, Romeo says, don't take this in a bad way, Mark. Where I live, we respect other people around us. Like the lake where I live, most people wear masks. But half the people don't wear masks, but we don't call them out in the spot. But we do social distract 6 feet apart from us. Well, Romeo, I kind of agree and disagree with that that one. Here's the thing. I don't believe in shaming people per se for not wearing a mask. You're not going to go up. You shouldn't go up to someone and like say, "Hey, dude, where's your mask?" Like that. That's not going to solve the problem. But here's the thing. And Alex, I'll get to you because you are so wrong on this. But yeah, let's see. Half the people don't wear masks. We'll call them out in the spot. The problem is, it's not necessarily the people who are calling people out for not wearing the masks, although there's some of that too. The problem is it really is the people who will not wear the mask. That's the problem. Because they're the ones who are starting to fight. When you see, here's a little litmus test of fact. Go on Twitter. How many videos and Facebook videos and YouTube videos that are going viral where you see people getting up to someone saying, wear your mask, and hassling them about wearing their mask? Not many, if any at all. There's almost none, in fact. However, how many videos have you seen of people who are coming in without a mask and they are talking like a madman? Quite a few. I mean, I have videos And I've considered making videos responding to these videos where like a guy got into an Uber and started calling this guy racist slurs because the guy said, wear a mask. In my car, it's my property, it's my business, wear a mask or you can get out. And the guy started calling him racial slurs. Wonderful human being, right? A lot of respect. What about the woman at the Trader Joe's? She started screaming, I have breathing problems, so the doctor told me not to wear a mask and you are infringing on my rights. She's having breathing problems while she's screaming her lungs out. I mean, hello. So, no, I'm sorry, but the anti-mask people are pretty, you know. And here's one of the things. Because Alex has said, if people are that scared and need a mask, they shouldn't go out. So, you know what? Here's my response to that, Alex. That is like a drunk person saying, I'm going to drive drunk. And if you're worried about getting killed by a drunk driver, then stay home if you're that fearful of your life. First of all, that's extremely disrespectful. That's extremely disrespectful. Like, secondly, it's illegal, which not wearing the mask is not illegal yet, but keep pushing your luck and it will be legal soon. And I don't want it to be legal to have to wear a mask. I just want people to wear them. And here's the other thing. People still have to live lives. They still have to live their lives. So they should be allowed to go to work, drive to go to work, and not have to worry about a quarter of the people on the road being drunk. Okay? Same thing. People should be able to go get their groceries, go to the post office, do all the things they need to do without worrying about getting sick from something that is totally preventable if people would just follow two simple things that does not affect your daily life at all. Unless you're running. Because yes, if you're running or exercising, then yes, the masks can be quite unsafe. But there you go. Now, I don't want to get into like another mask debate. You know, frankly, Alex, you are a jerk for your opinions, I believe. And this whole thing, my kids and I have never gotten vaccination shots, so they are perfectly healthy, while those who get flu shots are sick within days. Well, you know what? That's a super generalization. Super generalization, because you know what? There's a lot of people who also get sick who don't get flu shots. So, hey, Naz, how you doing? It's like Gig Life says, I see that all the time. People say stay away from me. Then why are they out? Well, they're out because they need to be out. They're out because they have to get groceries. They have to pick up prescriptions. They have to do these things, and they're just asking for a little distance. Like, I must be a jerk too. Well, Gig Life, let me put it this way. If you are walking up to people and not giving them their space, knowing full well it is expected right now of you to give them your space, then yes, you probably are a jerk. But hey, you know what? If you're saying, I'm not going to wear my mask, but I'm not going to purposefully put someone in an uncomfortable situation, if they ask me to take a couple steps back, I'll take a couple steps back, then no, you're not a jerk. But I see people at Walmart shop. Yeah, well, people need to shop. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think people can't do their stuff? That's the bottom line. We could all, and here's the thing, you know what? Science. When you look at the countries that have kicked COVID-19's butt, what are the things that they're doing? They're not going out unless they need to. They're wearing their masks and they're keeping distance. It's not that hard. And they've totally beaten this thing. But, you know, we're too individualistic, so there you go. Anyway, yeah, Mohammed, I agree that people who don't wear masks should get the idea that wearing them is to protect other people, but, you know, we have a very centralized thing. By the way, I forgot to say this. Thank you, Roger, for your $10 super chat. I really appreciate that. I don't have the water with me right now, but there you go. So anyway, let's Gig Life says I wear my mask. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, I'm not, like I said at the beginning, if you don't believe that the masks don't do anything, that's not the problem. The problem is when you get belligerent about it and you don't follow the rules. And here's the thing, I will end on this, and then we are going to move on from this topic. Because frankly, I hate talking about it. I don't even know why I bother to why I bring it up sometimes. I really shouldn't. But love how you call people jerks over the screens. Oh, well, I'm glad you love the way you do that, Alex. But no, Naz, that's actually not true. That's not true. Um, but Rideshare Rookie got it and he wore his mask all the time. Well, the reason Rideshare Rookie got it, more than likely, isn't he still doing rideshare? If you're still doing rideshare, enclosed area, there's no social distancing. So there you go. So sounds like the wife is home, but anyway, no, he's not doing rideshare. Well, here's the thing: wearing the mask doesn't prevent you completely from getting it. It just reduces the. Well, actually, no. Let me tell you this. Like, no. Here's the thing: no, wearing the mask will not prevent you from getting it. It really won't. But, hi, honey.
Hi.
So, how was the infusions?
Good.
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 Okay, that's good. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
So, did you just buy a bunch of snacks?
No. I've got some applesauce for my medication and some ketchup. Oh, and I got us some real lemon.
Oh.
For the salmon.
For the salmon, yes. Yes. Awesome.
Yes.
Anyway, the masks will not prevent you from getting it, but if everyone wears it, it reduces everyone's chances by 40%. So there you go. And because it's not for you, Alex, it's for other people. It's like why you don't drive drunk. It's not for you. It's clearly if you're going to drive drunk, you don't care anything about yourself, but it's illegal to prevent people who don't care about anyone but themselves from killing other people. So there you go. And anyway, no, Naz, it really wasn't. The CDC, as far as I remember, was always recommending wearing the mask. And here's the thing: you also have to keep in mind this is a new thing, so they've changed a lot of things over the year. Like we're still figuring it out, and they're finding new ways to treat it. It's a new thing, but I'm not going to. Well, here, for lack of a better word, I'm not going to debate with keyboard warriors, I'll call them, who don't want to wear a piece of cloth over their face over what science is discovering. Yeah, at the beginning, they weren't 100% sure. How did your AIDS test come out? Yeah, whatever. So, whatever. It's like on YouTube, I find a video of them admitting that they stated masks didn't do anything to save masks for medical professionals. Yeah. Oh well, yeah. No, that was true. That was true, and they should never have done that. But then it's amazing how people just get so extreme all the time. When it starts out, people start hoarding the masks. So they say they need them for medical. So they say, okay, please stop doing that. We need them for medical. And then people say, oh, I guess we don't need them. It's like, no, you do need them, but just whatever. They also said jump when they say jump. I don't know what that means, but whatever. Do not worry, Kevin. When they get the virus, they will learn. Yeah, that's true. When they get the virus, they'll. Well, no, I gotta take. Maybe they won't because Bam Bam got it recently, and he was still online, saying oh yeah, no, I don't think people should wear a mask, and I can't tell people to stop doing rideshare. It's like, well, okay, whatever. And so anyway, the point of it was, I really don't care whether you think the masks work or not. You're not wearing them for you. You're wearing them for other people, and you are keeping your distance from people also for other people. I haven't and I won't. I'd rather die than die in fear. Well, whatever. Yeah. Well, and the funny thing is, like, people told Bam, maybe you shouldn't be doing rideshare because you'll get it, and he thought it wasn't a big deal. He thought it wasn't a big deal, and so he goes out to Mardi Gras or something. He's doing rideshare, and then like a couple weeks later, okay, I guess it's real. So there you go. Anyway, you're all going to be wearing the mask soon because here's what's going to happen. Like more as this gets worse and worse, and this is just a reality. And I'm giving you a heads up just that you know what to expect. Is that they're starting to close businesses again because you got to get it under control. Like it's called a pandemic for a reason, and you don't want it to infect as many people as possible. So whatever your high and mighty ideas of living in fear or whatever, you're going to wear them or you're not going to go places because the stores, the companies, they've been pretty lenient on the masks so far. But you know what they really don't want? They don't want to be shut down again. And as places are being shut down, guess what? They're going to make you do it. So there you go. Yeah, Naz, I agree. I agree with you. It's a peeve of mine because it gave the no maskers ammunition to you. Well, and also, and I mean, I don't rag on our president too much, but why is he not telling people to wear a mask? Seriously. And like Mike Pence was like, he did this like speech at a church today or yesterday, something like that. And Mike Pence has been a lot better about telling people to wear the masks. And he wears his mask in public. But you know it was at that church where he was doing the speech and he was telling people to be responsible. It was in Texas or something like that. They had a choir of 100 people singing as loudly as they could without masks. So, you know, if you're watching that, it's like, what are you supposed to think? I mean, it clearly can't be that. You know, if you're someone who's like not paying attention to the science and stuff, you're looking at that and it's like, well, clearly this doesn't do anything. So, there you go. Mandatory in Nevada. It's mandatory in California too. Mark says, I am from MA. We wear masks and we have the lowest rate of infection in America. Alex says, well, some people still need to work and make money and don't go online and beg for help like some have done. Well, look, in all fairness, Gio's mother is sick. That's why he's asking for help. And I wasn't, I wasn't against that. I gave money myself to that cause. But, people who go to work are wearing their masks. So, you can go to work and wear a mask. There you go. Rideshare says, what about waiters touching eaten plates and then serving others when making refills or splashes? That's why they also say to wash hands. And here's the thing, waiters, at least in theory, should have been good about doing that anyway. So there you go. But so Alaska isn't the lowest. I don't know who the lowest is. Unfortunately, like the John Hopkins tracker, which is by all measurements the most accurate. When you go to US Maps, it sorts by city, which doesn't help that much. So, but apparently LA has got the highest, so there. So, yep, go LA. It's almost becoming like a sport at this point. Then it's Cook. Where's Cook? Cook is in Chicago. Oh. So, actually, I'm kind of curious. What is Alaska looking like? Alaska's pretty low. But hey, good news. Cook is starting to flatten the curve, so that's nice. From surface to surface, no hands involved. Yeah, well, that's why they're also. I know it could also be on the surfaces. That's one of the reasons why disinfecting has become such a big thing. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Because this has gone on for 30 minutes, and it's no one's having fun talking about this clearly. So, is there anything else? Should I just go back to my wife. She got back. I mean, me and her going to the drive-in later. We're gonna go see My Spy, which I guess if I wanted to watch it for free on Amazon, I could, but I'd like to go out. So you you know, is the Jaw 4K Blu-ray you unbox a store exclusive or no? I don't believe it is a store exclusive. Uh, yeah, no, it's not a store exclusive. Just at a lot of places. Um, Vitamin C in high doses saved my life. Well, vitamin C is always good. So movies. Oh well, yep, pretty much. Did you get Peacock? Yeah, I got Peacock. Um, did what the heck? It you know it's yeah, it's got a good deal going on. If you get Peacock, which is Universal's new streaming service, for $30 you can get like a year of it. Now I spent a little bit more because I added on ad free, which I need to do like a little bit more research because it's like I don't know. I thought Peacock was free and then the premium was that it was more free, but maybe that's not how it worked. So anyway, um, okay, you know what, Alex? I can't believe I was ever going to do this, but you are really not being respectful right now. You are not being respectful right now. So and you are aggravating everyone. You're aggravating me. So you're being put in a timeout. You are being put in a timeout. Hey Kevin, have you ever heard of the movie The Woman in the Window? It was supposed to have come out in May, but it was yes, I actually have heard of Woman in the Window. Um, the interesting thing about Women in the Window is the reason I know about it is because it was brought up during a lawsuit serving of an anime voice actor called Jamie Markey. She was being served papers because she was being sued by a fellow voice actor who claims that she did defamation on his career. And the prosecutor kept trying to serve her papers and she wouldn't answer the door. So finally, and the prosecutor had said a few times, not the prosecutor, whoever was trying to serve her said a few times, like, I could see a woman in the window looking out and just not answering the door. So, there you have. So the thing is, where was I going with it? Oh yeah. So then one day she picked up a book, The Woman in the Window, and she said, for some reason, this book appealed to me. And so there you go. That's how I know about Woman in the Window. It's kind of a strange way to hear about it, but there you have it. Giglai says, I noticed that people are still wearing gloves, which means everything they touch with the gloves are all everything they touch. Yeah, well, probably why everyone should wear gloves too, and the gloves actually are to protect you. Mark says, enjoy your wife, have some delicious salmon, then see a great movie. I don't think I'm making the salmon tonight, but okay. So Ryan says, will you do a ranking video of the streaming services once you have the Peacock comes out? That's not a terrible idea. I might have to do that. Yeah, rank all the streaming services, what I think about them. That would be a fun one to do. I really want to watch the Wayans brothers, says Rideshare Source. I guess they're going to be on Peacock. Rideshare Rookie. Well, hey, Steve-O. Welcome back. I'm here for one comment. I have COVID-19, have not driven rideshare since February. Oh, someone must have texted you. Well, that was my mistake. But it's kind of a moot point anyway, since the argument was that you got it even though you wore a mask, when it was like, well, the mask isn't going to prevent you necessarily from getting it, but if everyone wears it, then it reduces everyone's chances. So there you go. HBO Max coming out. I have HBO Max. It's on my Apple TV. I know HBO Max really botched their little lineup. Oh, you've been in here. Oh, okay. Yeah, the last comment you left me was uh, how should I say? It wasn't the friendliest of comments. You had a good point, but it wasn't the friendliest of comments. So I was kind of wondering if you had just left again. I'm glad you're still around. Master, not the answer. Well, we're not going to get into that again. You know, because the three countries that did beat it, um, did wear the mask. So anyway, I'm glad we're past that. I'm glad we're past that. You know, so we're good. We're good. All that jazz. What? Where was I? What is your favorite film of 2020 so far? Probably not too difficult to answer since, well, let me let me look at my best worst notes. I have like I keep notes for the best and worst films of the year, and well, here's a funny one, folks. I actually haven't taken any notes down. Like there was nothing that truly stood out, or for me to like make a note like this is potentially one of the best films of the year. So I guess Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't know. It's one of the only good ones I've seen. I mean, it's not. Yeah, I know it's not much. um, although, although the Blood Brothers on Netflix. No, it's probably the Blood Brothers by Spike Lee on Netflix. That might be the best film I've seen so far this year. But you're right. A lot of things have been delayed, so it's not like that's much. Let's see here. Let's see here. Mark says salmon 2 to 3 times a week is most beneficial to good health. The salmon should be wild. Yeah, no, I love salmon too. So, um, uh, what's better for black sitcoms, Peacock or HBO Max? It's they both made they both made a fair amount of black sitcoms. NBC had the king of all black sitcoms, which was The Cosby Show, which some people can no longer watch anymore because they can't separate Bill Cosby from the show. And I mean that I agree that's a tough one. But you know, then you have but Warner Brothers also made quite a few. They made Family Matters and stuff like that. So you know, so yeah, I think they're both good. And hey, Uberman Tampa's back. I'll just say this, Steve. Steve has it and wore the mask. I have never and don't. Weird, huh? Well, you also see. Yeah, well, you also see a lot of people who don't wear the masks who get it, and a lot of people who wear the masks that do get it. But if you want statistics and numbers, don't look in America. Look in Italy and Taiwan and all the places that really didn't have an issue with this, and look at how they've beaten it. So there you there you go. Why is the Christian in the room the one touting the science? What a funny, funny world we live in. Do you like Heat? Oh, that Al Pacino Robert De Niro movie directed by Michael Mann. Yes, I like that movie quite a bit. And Uberman Tampa also said, why have you not been texting me, Steve? Uberman Tampa, why haven't you been returning my phone calls? I've called you too, so there you go. I guess we get busy, right? Um, the Five Blood. It's called The Five Bloods. That's what it's called. Sorry. Um, let's see. Ryan says, have you seen enough Netflix original films to make a top 10 or 20, any number of favorite films from them? Yeah, probably enough. I mean, well, that'd be easy. Like, Netflix's best film is The Irishman, probably. But, you know, then you have Mudbound. That was really good. And, yeah. And the Little Prince was really good. So, let's see. A writer source says, I hope Steve got it only so he can get antibodies. Well, we also don't know how long you're immune if you get it. You know, one woman got it and then 4 months later she got it again. So it's a nasty little thing. It really is. What are the Netflix? Let me see. Netflix original films. Let's Let's look up a list of Netflix original film. Oh, Dolomite is My Name. That's right. That was a really good movie. I loved Klaus. Did not like the Cloverfield Paradox. Let me go to the Wikipedia page. Beasts of No Nation. That was a really good movie. Um, as I'm looking through this, I'm actually kind of amazed how many of these movies Netflix made that aren't very good. The Ridiculous Six was truly bad. Why is The Ridiculous Six still on Netflix? Like, considering how many TV shows and movies are being pulled because of stereotypes, you think The Ridiculous Six would have been on the chopping block a long time ago, but maybe because nobody watched it, they don't realize it's there. Okja, that was a great one, by Bong Joon-ho, director of Parasite. He did a movie for Netflix called Okja. That's a really good one. I liked the Death Note movie. I actually did like the Death Note movie. What else did they make? The Outsider. They made a Benji movie. Is that the dog? It is the dog. Netflix made a Benji movie. Huh. Wow, that's interesting. I'm scrolling through so many movies and I've not heard of them. The Most Assassinated Woman in the World? What the heck is that? It's a French movie. The first Belgian movie made by Netflix. Was it any good? Reception on Rotten Tomatoes, the film has a approval rating of 83%. Oh, well, there it is. So there you go. Okay, let's go back to. No, Alex, I timed you out because you're being a jerk. That is why I timed you out. Once people start calling out fake news and stuff, you know what? No, you need to relax at that point. So, glad your true colors came out. I've always been true. I've always been true. So, have you seen Octopus series, Octopus 5? No, I've never seen that. So yeah, here's the thing. Just to let you guys know, like, look at all these movies that Netflix makes. This is just the two. Look at all these movies, and there's maybe a handful of them, at best, that I could really call super good. Most of them, not so much. They made a Thunderstorm movie. What are they doing? They're making a sequel to Bright. There's a Hulk Hogan biopic coming out, apparently. An untitled Patrick Osborne film. Well, that could be good. He directed he directed Kung Fu Panda. So yeah. Oh, that's right. They made the Amanda Knox documentary. Oh, now they're on the documentaries. Their documentaries seem to be a heck of a lot better than their fictionals. I'll tell you that. But otherwise, yeah, I could probably make a top 10 list of Netflix movies, but Netflix has a bunch of included movies, but the old ones I want to watch are all paid. Ace Ventura. I wasn't aware that Netflix was making it so that you had to additionally pay for movies. I thought everything that came with Netflix just came with Netflix. So, that's what I thought. But so anyway, I guess that's enough about the Netflix movies. Any other topics you guys want to talk about? Any other topics? No? Oh, okay. I mean, we can end this if you want. This was just like a spontaneous. This was just a spontaneous live stream. Anyway, but how is the Corolla? Well, the Corolla's fine. It's getting more use nowadays, but it wasn't getting used for a while, so we saved a lot of gas money. But yeah, the Corolla's still doing fine. It will probably last at least another year. So, you know, you know, about college and school system. What about the college and school system? I don't have anything to say about that. I mean, nothing specific anyway. Right, Lisa, I'm just wondering why people who don't change their gloves and get their germs all over is okay. Well, Lisa, it's not okay, but that's also why they encourage everyone to wear gloves. Because, of course, people who wear gloves are going to spread it around, but what does the individual do with those gloves? They go home, they take them off, they throw them away, and they wash their hands. So, that's, like, some people, you've been listening in the background, you've been in the background listening. Oh, okay, well, glad you finally joined the conversation. But yeah, nope. In both these cases, most people don't do that. Well, and that's the problem with everything with all this, isn't it? I mean, if we could all get on the same page, then we could have beaten this months ago. But nobody wants to do that. So it can be on clothes, hair, skin. Well, it's not like, you're gonna cut it down to zero, obviously. But some basic precautions you can take that people don't want to. So, anyway, anything other than the masks do you want to talk about? It must be the title of the video. That's what's inviting a lot of the what really got this. Right, my mother told me if anything, take clothes off and spray with hot water and don't wear until washed. Well, not a terrible idea. But I mean, we do a lot of laundry anyway, just because I don't like dirty. We don't like dirty clothes hanging around anyway. So man, I tried Panda Express delivery. It's not bad. Well, of course not. It's a delivery service. I mean, it's pretty hard to mess up a delivery service. Someone orders food and then they have it delivered. That's all it is. Resolution says, when I worked at a restaurant, we had to change gloves every time you did a different job. Yeah, so and that speaks volumes of how gloves can be effective. Oh, and doctors do it too. I mean when doctors are going to do surgery, like what if they put on the coverings, they wash their hands all the way up to here with soap, then they put on the gloves, they have the mask, they put on the glasses. I mean obviously this does something, or else they wouldn't bother to do it. Rideshare Source Driver says, is the professor going to employ drivers for the GOAT rideshare? I'm going to be honest, and this is not a hold on one second before this is not a slam on the rideshare professor by any means. I don't know if the GOAT rideshare is going to actually get off the ground. I haven't heard anything from a while. I know he was looking for he was trying to raise $25,000 in Indiegogo to get it funded, and he got a little over 3,000 backers, so like 12% of that goal. And that's the thing with it. And it wasn't even him, but like starting a new rideshare company is so difficult. People don't realize the things that go into it. The insurance, the permits, like there's a lot you need to do before you can launch a rideshare service. So unless it's like from a major company, I don't think it's going to happen. Anyone's going to really be able to launch another service because, especially now that Uber and Lyft flaunted the laws and they wrote new laws to try to prevent that in the future, it's just not doable anymore. Gone are the days when a rideshare service could start and pretty much ignore, you know, regulations because they didn't exist yet. So Romeo says, but the only problem is the tip and payment. The website only accepts card on the website. There is no option for cash. Well, that's most delivery apps. It's not, it's card. It's not cash. And a lot of stores are actually pushing the card option. Like, you know, I know movie theaters sent their email and they were like, well, let's make it cashless. So there you go. It's very hard to get drivers, most difficult, I think. Actually, getting drivers is easy. Getting drivers is especially easy. That's why Uber and Lyft have not felt the need to treat their drivers well, because it's easy to get them. It's very easy to get them. So anyway, I see 16 people here. If you haven't given a thumbs up, please consider doing so. Mohammed said, just celebrated the big 53 years. Oh, congratulations. May you have another 53. So, but yeah, no, getting drivers is especially easy, I think, because most drivers are not very picky. You know, in fact, I remember when I actually liked doing this, one of the things that I told people to do was to get on as many services as you can. So if you are doing this for like a living and stuff like that, then you're going to get on as many as you can. Roman says, if San Francisco cities, the cashless is illegal to have in the store. Also, most state that cashless is illegal to do business. Yeah. You know, you're not wrong, actually. You're not wrong. In many states, it is illegal to not have the cashless option. Doesn't mean the stores can't push for the cashless option, though. So, yeah, and with no cash, it's easier to spend because, yeah, and that's just like a thing because, like, if you swipe a card, you know, it's kind of like an abstract thing, like how much money did come out of my bank? I mean, well, you know, but you don't really know. But when you hold cash, and like say you have $100 in $1 bills, and it's like, okay, it's $23, and you start putting $23 down, it's like you can actually kind of see, you can see the cash is going away. So there. So there you go. But all right, any other topics? We can do like another 8 minutes, I think, 8 minutes, and then we are going to end this live stream. But there will be another one tomorrow in the afternoon with, you know, news stories and everything like that. This was just a personal one, and you know, bet a lot of high school kids getting a job now. Actually, I don't think that's true because I think a lot of companies there's a lot of people out of work, and when you have like experienced, responsible people, why would you bother hiring a high school kid who has no experience? So I don't think high schoolers are getting a lot of jobs this year. Also, zero interest is easier to borrow for faking the economy and spending without having money. Well, most people don't have zero interest on their credit cards, though. So, I don't know exactly what that is referring to. So, the thief surgeon says stay away from the news. Oh, I don't really watch the news that much. I mean, I watch a little bit of it just to keep up to date with what's going on. But yeah, I think most of the news stations are trash, to be honest. I read doctor reports and statements. That's pretty much where I go. I think I'm going to trust anything CNN or Fox News says? No, not at all. they have their agendas. So hey, let's do this. How you doing? You got here near the tail end of this. Do you have any questions before we sign off? I'm curious. I wonder. Hold on. You think student planning to go to college or not? I don't know what you're asking. I don't know what you're asking. I have no opinion on college. Like, I really don't. Huh. Interesting. Oh. All right. Has anyone experienced perpetual background checks with Lyft? Not from my perspective. If you have a perpetual background check, then chances are Lyft just didn't want you, and they're not saying anything. Oh, hey, thank you, Al Sadler. I appreciate that. I tip off my drink to you, but I don't have a drink right now, so but I appreciate that. Thank you. Especially since you're a Patreon supporter, and you don't have you don't have to give me a donation anyway, but you really don't have to do that when you're already donating to my Patreon. So I really appreciate that. Thank you. So, any final questions, comments? We might just cut this short. We might not even get to the hour at this point. We might just we might just end it now. All right. I don't see any other comments, but hey, thank you again for the super chat. So anyway, thank you folks for joining. Sorry that this one got a little contentious, but it happens. So anyway, we will be back tomorrow with a new Apptrepreneur show, and yeah, you know the drill. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe, and as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.